Oh, g'day everyone, and welcome to this week's vlog. And yeah, wonder where I am. Well, I'm at Hoffman Mill, and I'm here because of these beautiful trees, which I must admit I'm finding very hard to compose a shot with. I did some last time we were here. We only stopped in for lunch, and you can see down over here there's some people down there where we stopped. They're camped there because it is a campground, and I got a beautiful shot through the trees from the campground where they are to heading this direction. But for the life of me today, I cannot find one. Anyway, I'm just going to wander around and keep looking, and today and tomorrow, and we'll see what we can find. Well, how's that for a nice scene? And funnily enough, it's in this area here where you can probably see our wheel marks there. We actually parked there and tried to find a way to get level and to put the fifth wheeler on, but no good. Anyway, that could have been the view out of my window, but it's not. So I've come back, and here's some composition. Just the idea is that the road leads you down. If I swing around to the left a little bit, I might try that, but I think I'll lose too much of the trees and I get too much of the other paraphernalia, signs, posts, campers, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'll have a look at that later, but camera got tired and turned itself off. Battery saving is a good thing, but sometimes it's not. And the march flies, or horse flies, whatever you want to call them, are very active. So you have to sort of keep moving your feet, otherwise they get you. Now, exposed to the right, they say, but then you miss all the shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half a stop under. Let's see what I'm going to do first off is put my hand over the lens, take a photo, then I know where the sequence starts. Handy little tip. So half a stop under, and from this distance it shouldn't be too much of a problem with the leaves moving, I hope. And in the middle, so this is like a manual bracketing. Half a stop under, in the middle, and half a stop over, and then you know, there's my sequence. So when I look at it later on the computer, I get that one, I know it's the start of the sequence, and then I can use that one, and that one for HDR blending or Photoshop blending, or however I'm going to do it, or maybe not, just use whichever one it is. And that's the end of the sequence. So little tip for those who might want to do that and take so many photos that they get a bit confused when they look at them all on the computer and go, what was I thinking and where do I start? Okay, here's sort of another scene. I like the way the road takes you around and down that way to this big old fella here, who's obviously seen a bit of a few battle scars on him, and he's been chopped up and bits come off him. But I kind of like that. There are some campers in here which obviously have to clone out later because I don't particularly want them in the scene. But anyway, I've taken a shot, and there's the composition, 16 by 9 aspect, and it's yeah, f11, 10th of a second, and ISO 100. can see I've got grey skies and a bit of wind now, which makes life even more interesting. So I'm going to wander up the road here a little bit, and there's another camping area up here. We looked at camping up here. Having a compressor fridge in our fifth wheeler means we need power for the fridge, not gas. So we obviously look for places where we can get good sunlight onto the solar panels on the roof, and we didn't think we could get much up here. Anyway, I'll wander back up here and we'll see what we can find for composition. Right, so walking back, I came across this little scene here, which I kind of like because the road goes away from you and then ducks down and keeps going around that way, and it leads you down towards that big old tree down there, which I showed before. And that little one there, that white one, is a little bit hard to figure out what I'm going to do with him. I might end up cropping him out. But yeah, this guy down here. So I've done a little panorama, which if I go to here, go the right way, you might help. So you can see I started there, and then I've worked my way across here, and the end result will be stitched together with something along those lines. I might have to see if I can get a shot with that one there as the focus, just a separate shot. Anyway, we'll move on. Hoffmans Mill was obviously a timber mill, and there's not much left of it these days. In fact, nothing at all really. There's a few things like this, and a few bits of old machinery. But other than that, there's very, very little to show what was here. You can see through there are some extremely big trees they've cut down. Anyway, this is the road in. You come off the dirt and you come into this bit of bitumen, a little bit of a grove, and as you're coming down, this is what greets you. And I've just been off to the left taking photos. There's a bit of a camping area up there, ideal for rooftop tents and the like. There's an area over here where those other campers are, and one up a little bit further for caravans and that sort of size vehicle. But it's just a beautiful grove of trees, and very hard to photograph. Very hard to photograph. But you can find some interesting ones. And I've been very conscious of Simon Baxter in the UK says something along the lines of don't look for the trees, but look for the shots in the trees. Yeah, more intimate shots, and don't try and get the whole tree and that sort of stuff. So, which is a little bit hard because it's a feast for the eyes, and you just want to put everything in there. Anyway, I'm going to investigate that little bit of a spot over there with that big lump of wood from something. Let's see if I can't get something just in there. So I sort of settled on a composition using that scene there, and that's what I'm looking at. Sort of showing the this bit of machined wood, hand hewn wood, and the new trees and the old posts. It's a bit of an interesting composition. It'll either work really well or it'll work really badly. I'll tell you what doesn't help is these march flies or horse flies trying to chew your legs while you're trying to take photos. Well, I'll probably end up cropping that a little bit, but yeah, well, maybe along the 4x3 lines here. We'll see how that turns out anyway. characters of the forest, and Simon Baxter did a great video on trees with character. I believe he called them Ents, E-N-T-S, from movies, and ones that take on some sort of a, well, character, personality of their own. And I've just found this one. I'm not quite sure how the photo's going to come out, if it's going to be any good or not, but I'm going to darken the screen by doing half a stop under, well, maybe even one stop. Well, I'm going to have to wait for the weather to settle down a little bit, and let's see, that might be my opportunity, right? No, of course not. As soon as I go to do it, the wind knows, you see. And get it to stand out. There's a very good movie that he did with that, and I might, I'll link to that at the end of my video. I'll see if I can link to his. If not, I'll put it in the description below, and you'll be able to go and have a look at it. He does an exceptionally good job, and he's very inspiring with his work. So yeah, him and Nigel Danson, both of them do exceptional work with this type of composition. It's something that stands out from the norm. Okay, well, that was a bit of an exploratory trip to see what was around, and I'm just heading back to camp now. So I don't know whether I got anything worth going back to, or I just need to keep looking. Anyway, I'm sure Joanne will find something, because she usually goes for a trip, goes for a walk, and I'm sure she'll find something and come back and say, you need to go here. So I'll look forward to that. Alright, time to go back for a cup of tea. There you go, the Hoffman Mill site, 1919 to 1961. And it's all the way through here, but if you remember yesterday, I was trying to get that old busted tree in a photo. Well, I may have just found how to do it. And March fly biting my head, that wasn't real friendly. Suppose he could have breakfast too. Anyway, there's the composition. Looking through the nice straight trees to the straggly old one at the other end. Obviously, I need to clone the water tap out and crop it a little bit, but I was really hoping to get a shaft of light come down through there, but not with those clouds this morning. It's just too cloudy. I've returned to this spot, which is the view I really like. It's very hard to capture. So I've just taken a vertical pano, looking with the path being the leading line. And we'll see how that's turned out. Light's very flat this morning, so that's not helping. But still, if you look at the trees, look at the colour in these guys. Just magnificent. Well, the light didn't quite do what I thought it would do. Well, I got some shots anyway, and it's now time to head back to camp for breakfast. So, well, folks, that's it for our visit to Hoffman Mill. Certainly wasn't as good as what I thought it might have been, or I wasn't as clever as what I could have been. But it's certainly a beautiful spot to come to, and I think we'll be back. So in the meantime, all I can say is thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and seeing Hoffman Mill and the photos that I got. Don't forget, if you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up. We'd highly appreciate that. Give us a like, and of course subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, please don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when we upload our next video, which at this stage is a weekly thing. So yeah, where will it be for next week? Who the heck knows? We'll find out when we get there. All right, everyone. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.